Good morning, everyone. Today I just wanted to paint some quick florals, something loose, pretty, blue. So I'm going for something poppy-like. I'm going to use my KMS palette that I've been in love with this summer. It's Blooms and Brews. So I'm starting with a mix of moss and sunflower. And I'm making a little center right there. A little bit more green at the bottom. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Patty. Good morning, everyone. So I've got my center here. I'm actually going to let that dry a bit and do another one where I know I want another flower. So again, moss and some sunflower to make this yellowy green. Just a little bit more of that moss green at the bottom. And then I was thinking about this cornflower. It's a bluish green or a bluish purple. And I think that would look really nice. I might mix it with a little bit of white gouache just to make it more of a pastel. I think that would look good. And I'm using my really big pointed oval for the petals. So I'm going to start with that. I'm using the side to come in. Then the belly. I already really love that color. And then the edge to get that profile. While it's still wet, I'll go in with just the cornflower. Maybe lighten it up a little bit. And get some dark bleeds in there. I love that. All right, I'm going to do something very similar to my next one, cornflower, a little bit of white gouache. Start with the edge of my brush. All right, now I want some stems in there. So I'm going to go in with moss and a little spring grass from this palette. to darken that up with my round 2. Make my little stem. Same thing for the other one. Going in and adding a little texture to that stem. Then I've got to add those fun leaves and bud. Okay. I'm going to go in with my round 4 for the leaves. I did a whale shark, and the white glows in the dark, so that's the nails for the summer. Mooncat does the white. It was a limited edition, but they have other glow in the darks as well. So I have to figure out where I want my little bud, because I like this, but it needs something. So I'm thinking right here. So a little bit of that cornflower, and then some of that mossy spring green. Trying to determine if my poppy centers are dry, if I can add a little bit of detail in there. I can see the shine of the water on this petal, so I know that's still wet in there. I wouldn't want to touch that. I'm thinking just a little bit of brown would look good in there. So I'm going to use some cappuccino, a little cold brew to warm it up just a little bit. I have to be careful over here where it's still a little wet. And then a little bit more of my spring green. Getting some detail in there. Okay. Trying to think about what else I want to put on this. I could go in with a little detail with the blue. It's also just really pretty as it is. So I don't know if I want to keep this one super loose. Maybe just add some of that cornflower blue splatter. This was just such a quick painting, and I want to do some more with it. So, this might just have to be it for today. I do have another painting for this week planned, Alive with a Duma. She's at the Lavish Brush, if you want to check out her work. And we're going to paint a little summer scene. It's a paint along, so you can DM either of us and get the template. We're going to be live on Instagram on Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. I do have a watercolor Wednesday painting with my fiance. We're going to do a seahorse. We're going to break out the the masking fluid and try and do a fun scene. So something different for us. Very excited for that. I do have one more wedding invitation to go. So I'll probably do that one next. But you can see what it's looking like when they're done. Wedding colors. I love that gold border. So if you've seen me paint the last couple of times, I've probably been working on one of these. What a wonderful project. So thanks for joining today, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye, everyone.